Hey, it's Tess
And Bianca.
and we're going to talk to you about weathering.
And erosion.
First off, weathering is a breaking up of rocks by either water, ice, chemicals, plants, and the changing of temperatures.
After weathering, erosion occurs. Erosion moves weathered materials from one place to another. This happens by moving water, wind, gravity, ice, and sediments.
We're going to explain these two factors in more detail, and we're going to show you a few examples of these. The two types of weathering are physical and chemical. Physical is a breaking up of rocks into smaller pieces. Physical can also be known as mechanical weathering.
Chemical weathering is when rock changes to new rock. Water, oxygen, and acids are common agents in chemical weathering. They break down the minerals in the rocks. New rocks are formed as a result.
The factors that affect the rate of weathering are exposure, size, composition, and climate. Exposure is the amount of surface open to the atmosphere.
Size is the smaller the rock, the faster it breaks down because there's less material to break down.
Composition is the materials that it's made up in.
Oh, climate. Dry climate, less weathering. No, humid climate, more weathering.
Stop it now. This is physical weathering. As you know, physical weathering is the breaking down of rocks. Here are examples of some rocks.
Oh, hello.
There we go.
This one is really weathered.
This one is really weathered.
Not.
As you can see, this side has very sharp edges, and it actually has sides almost like a square, and it's very jagged in front. This one is kind of like an oval shape, and it doesn't really have sides. Like it's this, I guess, hardly a point, but
it's smooth.
It's very smooth. Here are some reasons those rocks look the way they did. Forces such as wind, rain, sun, and gravity work to break down rock into smaller pieces. It also works to change the physical properties of rock, such as its size, shape, texture, and form. Another physical change that can happen to a rock is called ice wedging. This is when water infiltrates into the fractures of a rock and freezes. This force of expansion is great enough to break the rock and separate it into smaller pieces.
An example of a chemical change is rust. Rust is a naturally occurring phenomenon when certain metals are exposed to oxygen and water for a certain length of time. Everything around us is made up of different chemicals. These chemicals are made up of atoms. The atoms can join together to make new chemicals. The atoms can also join up and make up chemical compounds. Rust is a chemical compound. The iron pieces together atoms with the hydrogen and oxygen atoms. Adding the water creates a chemical reaction. The result can be seen as rust.
Let's go find an example of rust.
Let's do it!
Our example of rust. Keep in mind, something that used to look like this. See how shiny it is? Now it looks like this.
All rusty.
It makes a squeaky noise.
When water comes, the sediments move, but only big sediments stay. Little sediments go. Watch.
Wait. Transition is the moving of rocks from running water. So if you have a really big rock, it's gonna not be able to move easier. Like a little rock like this is gonna move easier than a big rock like this. So let's example it for you. Here I have a small rock, and here you have to take a rock.
Big rock.
You have to take a big rock. Now, 1, 2, 3. Where's Bianca? Let it go. So as you can see, the smaller rock traveled faster than the big rock. The big rock is actually still there, and the small rock has traveled under the bridge over here.
See? There's the little rock. And see, that's it. That's it.
Because I was standing up there.
I told you I threw a huge rock off that.
And that's the position! Erosion is the process of the movement of loosened materials from one place to another, and generally caused by natural elements such as wind and glacial ice.
A big example of this is the Grand Canyon, but we can't bring that example to you, so we will just show you another example.
An example is Duck Island. A few years ago, they drained the whole lake and filled it up with sand because the water was eroding it. The water was coming at the island and pulling sand away and bringing it to another place. So that's why they had to fix it.
All right, because
Screaming, guys.
Worm! Worm!
Guys, they're screaming. Guys, they're
We
screaming.
gotta go get the dog.
Don't pause it. Let's go. We're going on a trip to get the dog.
And cream, please! She's gonna kill me. I lost my dog.
Lydia lost it.
No, I didn't.
It's
You
you
didn't close
schmucking.
the gate. It was Lydia.
I didn't get out of the gate.
I found him! It was Pete after he ran away. Come on.
Can't see.
Bad boy.
What are you drinking?
I don't know.
Is he spitting up?
No.
He's spitting.
Shutting up. Oh, my baby.
Boy!
Say hi to the camera.
Hey.
What's your name?
Wait, no, would you like to be in our video that we're making?
There are two types of weather, and you're supposed to say physical and chemical.
There's two types of weather, physical and chemical.
Thank you.
Let's get chemical. Let's get physical. Ow! That hurt. Let's not your video. What?
You know what?
It's okay. We can cut that out.
Don't talk about that stuff. It's not inappropriate, Mr. Kaplan.
Size, composition, and climate. Exposure is the amount of surface open to the atmosphere. Smaller, but
I want to say that. Keep going.
Bianca would like to introduce size.